Hey guys, I'm Detective Zach Foxen, and you're listening to Forensic Geek Radio. I can remember as a kid, one of the superpowers I wished for was X-ray vision. And while I may not have necessarily understood what X-rays were at the time, I wanted to be able to see through anything. Walls, cars, you name it. I remember getting X-ray glasses from a novelty shop. It was Eddie's Trick Shop over off Marietta Square. And being really disappointed, thinking I was doing something wrong because I couldn't see through the door. It seems that my superpower may not be too far from coming to fruition. Researchers at MIT have now developed a program they call the RF capture system. The RF capture works by sending audio waves through walls and other static barriers and measuring the reflection. From there, the program determines what is stationary and what is mobile, such as a human in motion. Due to the fact that these reflections are only reflected from certain aspects of the body, the computer algorithm combines the information to generate one trackable image. The team has made it clear that one of the fields that they have in mind for this sort of tech is law enforcement, especially when dealing with hostage situations. The MIT group claims that the program is so accurate that it's accurate within less than an inch and is sensitive to be able to monitor both breathing and heart rate. Now, obviously, there are going to be mixed reviews on the use of this sort of technology by the police and by military, as to claims that it may be abused. However, there is case law through the U.S. Supreme Court that regulates aided observations. However, when dealing with dangerous and dynamic situations, especially in our current climate, I really do think that the RF capture program has a potential to be an invaluable tool. This week, NASA announced that a faulty instrument, specifically a seismometer that failed to hold a vacuum seal, would delay the launch of the Mars InSight lander. Now, the InSight lander was supposed to be slated for a launch this upcoming March, but is now delayed approximately 2 years to 2018, when the orbit of both Earth and Mars will be in the correct alignment. The InSight program is aimed at studying the interior of the red planet to give researchers a look at how terrestrial planets are formed. Science News has released their top 25 stories of 2015, including the potential of Ebola vaccines, water on Mars, and a new look at Pluto, as well as cancer genetic research. Now, incredible strides have been made in science this year. 2015 has shown an incredible amount of space and genetic research, which makes me so much more excited for the potential that the new year has to offer. You can read all 25 stories of the 2015 records at sciencenews.org. Now, earlier this year, the Department of Justice announced more funding towards the processing of backlogged rape kits. This amount, along with grant funding from the New York District Attorney's Office, brings the total grant funding to combat the issue to a combined $80 million. Now, to be clear, these funds are to aid in the clearance of untested forensic sexual assault kits. Currently, our nation faces a staggering backlog of more than 70,000 sexual assault kits. To give you an idea of why this is so important, in 2013, New York City enacted a series of policies to clear out their more than 17,000 untested kits. After accomplishing this feat, their arrest rate for rape jumped from 40 to 70%. It's simple. The accurate examination of the forensic evidence leads to investigative leads. Even Vice President Biden, who helped author the Violence Against Women's Act, was quoted this year during the funding announcement saying, "DNA technology is a guilty person's worst enemy and the innocent person's greatest friend." But funding is really only one aspect of this overwhelming national issue. Tracking offender hits, and even more cold offender hits, can also be a great issue. In an article by Rockne Harmon titled "Going Beyond CODIS," Mr. Harmon notes this issue and brings up a current debate on familial DNA. CODIS, which is the FBI's National Combined DNA Index System, or the DNA database, houses a multitude of DNA samples from crime scenes, arrested offenders and convicted felons, and missing person cases. One issue noted about the database is that no information is recorded on whether offender hits led to a successful prosecution of the person who committed the crime. While the FBI reports the number of, quote, investigations aided, it fails to report if that information was actually utilized. If cold offender hits are not followed up on, then there is the chance for criminals to reoffend. This has been seen even as recent as this year. But what happens when there is no DNA match for a forensic sample? Well, it depends on what state you're in. Currently, only 9 states have adopted familial DNA testing or searching procedures. The FBI defines familial searching as a deliberate search of DNA databases conducted for the intended purpose, of potentially identifying close biological relatives to the unknown forensic profile obtained from the crime scene evidence. Now, this type of effort can lead to great investigative leads, as noted within studies out of Denver and California that found that the searching method has an efficiency of up to 40%. That's huge, especially when you compare it to the 25% that has been polled of the CODIS program. But as I said, familial DNA is only permitted within 9 states currently. It should be noted that the specific genes or loci that are searched for contain no HIPAA-related information or other biological information that would normally be deemed as private. They're junk genes. So why do more states not allow the searching for suspects by means of relatives? I'd like to know what you have to say on this issue. Is familial DNA testing an invasion of privacy? Let me know what you think on our Facebook. Well, that's it for this episode of Forensic Geek Radio. Remember to check us out on our website at forensicgeek.science, where you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I know this one's kind of short, but we had the Christmas special. I hope you guys had a fantastic and happy holidays, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the new upcoming year. Here's to 2015 and the upcoming 2016. I'm Detective Zach Foxen. Keep learning.